Yes, good evening, everyone. My voice is audible. If it is yes, please write it. Okay, fine. So let me start the session. Before that, I'll briefly revise what we discussed yesterday. So yesterday we discussed about what is Linux. So I hope you remember what is Linux. In one word, what you can say? Linux is an, yes, what is Linux? Yes, you can write it in the chat box. Yes, very nice. Yes, it's an open source operating system, Prabhakar. Yes. So what is open source? We will discuss. And yesterday we discussed that operating system. Operating system is what? It's a collection of program which acts like an interface between the hardware and the software. So using this interface, we can using this interface, we can so using the yes, using the operating system, we can operate the system. So I repeat, operating system is a collection of program which acts like a interface between the hardware and the software, because hardware understand only binary language, software understand only high level language. So we need one interface between the hardware and software, that is the operating system. Using this interface, we can operate the computer. That's why operating system, we can say it's the interface through which we can operate the computer. Without operating system, can we operate or can we communicate with the system, that is computer? No. So we need the interface, because computer is a collection of hardware and software, where the hardware understand only binary language, software understand high level language. So we need interface between hardware and software. That interface is operating system. So using that, we can operate the computer. And after that, I went through yesterday what are the topics which we are going to discuss in the yesterday. I discussed through, I went through the topics which we are going to discuss through this Linux administration course. Yes. So I hope uh, everybody was there yesterday. Anybody have joined today? So if you are today, if it is your first class, you can just see our yesterday, my yesterday's class. You will be getting the recording also once you make a payment. Yes. So anybody who is there new today, or all of you were there yesterday, or you can also see our demo sessions, like yesterday's session on our YouTube channel. And all these sessions will be get recorded. You will getting the recording sessions. As well as I'll be sharing you 3 files. So one file I have made as a notepad file. In that I have written all the practical steps from first day to last day. And this course, as I told you yesterday, it is divided into 2 parts, standalone and admin, network admin. So I made one theory file, theory related topic file in the Linux administration file name, and for network admin file, I have made one file as a network admin file, theory, so that you don't have to write anything. So all the topic is wise, whatever data I have, I put it into these 3 files. So I'll be sharing you once we get the, or I get the confirmation who has made the payment. So after the payment, we'll be sharing you these 3 files, as well as you'll be getting the recording sessions. Okay, fine. So now today is our second session. So let me go through the today with why the people or the companies prefer to use the Linux instead of Windows, especially on the servers. So yesterday we focused this point. Most of the people in the world are using Windows. There is no doubt about it. But those users mostly are working like a client, or the users are for home purpose. So if you want to work like an administrator, most of the servers in the world, you can ask anybody, or you can check in the Google also. Most of the servers in the world are working on Linux. So there has to be some reason for that. Yes. So we'll see that reason today, why the companies prefer to use their servers on a Linux operating system instead of Windows. So one of the important thing you can just remember about the Linux is Linux has better security or more secure compared to the Windows. That is the reason most of the servers in the world and most of the companies prefer to use Linux as Linux as their operating system for their server. So what are the reasons? We'll try to understand in today's session. So can I start today's session? Yes. Yes, hello everybody, good evening. Now I'm starting today's session. Like I told you, most of the people in the world are using Windows, but we are discussing this course through Linux because most of the servers are on the Linux. And Linux is the platform, as I told you yesterday also, for higher level courses like whether it is SAP, but especially for AWS and DevOps. SAP, for this technology, you should compulsory have the Linux knowledge. And even the course and the content which just I went through yesterday, it is enough if you have maximum 3 years experience. So this course is completely based on the RSCSS syllabus, and it is according to the L1, our first level. Okay, and up to the 3 years gap, if you have also, you can easily cover it. So much content and so much depth will be discussed. So I just went through the topics which we are going to discuss yesterday in our course. I went through yesterday's session. Now let me start with why we are discussing the Linux, why the companies prefer to use Linux. So now the most commonly used operating system in the world are 3 operating systems. Most of the people in the world are using 3 operating systems: Windows, Linux, and Mac. Yes, you can crack this RSCSS syllabus. Sorry, this course is designed on RSCSS syllabus. Even some topics are extra, which is not there in the RSCSS. But this knowledge is definitely, by that you can crack this exam, but you have to go through the dumps. You have to go through the dumps, because what they will do when you write the exam, the same pattern, same questions they will ask. So the Prometic centers will have what? The dumps. So that's what they will say. They will say the guarantee. If you join us, we'll give the guarantee that exam will be cracked. Dumps means the previous year questions paper. Previous year's questions paper. So previous, not years, previous questions paper. So suppose today I have written the exam. So what are the questions they ask me? Tomorrow you have written the exam. What are the questions? Like that. Everyday setups, same question they will ask. So the Prometic centers will have lots of dumps from that previous questions. From that only same question, because the syllabus will be same. Same questions will be asked. So that's why they will give you the assurance and guarantee you will pass. So when you do this course, if you go to any Prometic center, you have to say that I know already the subject. I just want to take few days of training before I write the exam. Because if you see the dump and practice it, you will get the confidence. Because in Red Hat, there is no support for other examination like MCSC, CCNS, some help is there. But here, Prometic center means authorized training centers where the RSCSS exam will be conducted. So if you go to that centers, they will have that dumps. So you should say them. Yes, we have in the Hyderabad. If you go to the Amirpet, there are 3-4 centers are there. You can check in the Google also. So just you have to say, I know already the subject. Just I want to prepare myself according to the dump. So they will charge you very less, maximum 4 to 5,000. If you don't know the subject and if you go with same content, they will charge you minimum 15 to 20,000. If you don't believe me, you can just go and inquire it. Okay. Okay. Let's see now here. This. Okay. So the server operating system. So most of the people in the world are using basically three major operating systems. First is Windows, second is Linux, third is the Mac. So we are going to focus on Linux. So in Windows, we have two types of OS, yes, server OS and client OS. So server OS is designed for the administrator, because administrator using the servers OS can configure the servers which can provide services. Using that server OS, he can control and manage the network. So same way in Linux, that server OS here is called as the enterprise Linux. So as an administrator, we have to use what? Enterprise Linux OS, through which we can configure the servers to provide the services to our employees or users, as well as using the enterprise. Enterprise means similar to like server OS. Enterprise Linux OS, we can able to control and manage all the users on computer, as well as configure the servers. So that's why as an administrator, we have to control and manage our network and to configure the servers, we have to use the enterprise Linux OS, which is similar to like server OS. So now we are going to focus on Linux. So like when I started this today's session, I asked first question, what is Linux? So maximum people have written the answer. Linux is an operating system. So what is the things which separate the Linux from other OS? So you can say Linux is an open source operating system. So yesterday we discussed operating system is a logical thing, collection of program. But now we need to understand what is open source. So we'll try to first understand the open source. After that, we can know why the Linux is separate or different compared to the others. So to understand, yes, the source code, very nice, Rajesh, you have already knowledge about source code. Okay, fine. For the benefit of everybody, let me explain to them also. So see here, suppose you have any operating system. Any operating system is a collection of program. So we are discussing about which operating system in this machine. Suppose we have installed the Linux operating system. So Linux is an operating system. Operating system is a what? Collection of programs. Any operating system is a collection of programs. So generally, whoever design or write this program, they have to write some coding. They have to write some coding of the program. So they have to, when they are writing this program, this collection of program will be written by the developer in the form of some coding or some program they will write. So they'll write the coding and the programs for this operating system. Any operating system is a collection of program. This collection of program, it will be written by the developer in the form of coding or the programs. So generally, can we see this coding or the programs which is written by the developer? Generally, can we see this? Whatever coding or the program is written by the person who designed or who developed that OS. So let us talk about Windows because we are more familiar with Windows. So Windows operating system is designed by whom? Who designed the Windows OS? So who designed the Windows operating system? I'll come to that. Yes, Microsoft is the company, but I want to know the person name. Who designed the Windows? Because it's very popular. Microsoft is a company name, but who designed the Windows OS? Yes. Bill Gates. Yes, very nice, Silesh. So please remember, Bill Gates is the person who designed this Windows operating system under the company name Microsoft. Yes. So Windows operating system, please remember, designed by Bill Gates using the DOS. Using the DOS. DOS is what? It's also an operating system using command-based operating system. So using that, they design what? Windows OS. Now, who designed the Linux OS? Now we are discussing about the Linux OS. So any idea, anybody who designed the Linux OS? Very nice, Rajesh. Very nice. Yes, all of you, please remember, Rajesh has given absolutely correct answer. So the person who designed the Linux OS his name is Linus Torvald. Yes. Okay, you have very good information, Rajesh. Yes. Nice. So Linux operating system is designed by Linus Torvald. This is the name of the person. He is from Finland country, small country in the Europe. So both these gentlemen, Bill Gates and Linus Torvald, both are alive because when they designed this, they were very young age. So still both these great personalities are still alive in the world. Yes. So, so please remember that Linux operating system is designed by Linus Torvald. So whatever collection of program he has written to design this, or whatever coding he has written, he put it over the internet. So whatever OS designed by Windows operating system, who is designed this Windows operating system by Bill Gates. So whatever coding or program he has written to design this OS, whatever coding or program he has written to design Windows OS, can we see that? Can we see that? Whether you put it anywhere which we can see? No, we cannot see this. But whatever coding or program the Linus Torvald written to design Linux OS, we put it over the internet. We put it over the internet. So whatever coding or program is written by the Linus Torvald to design this Linux, we put it over the internet, which anybody can access. And not only we can access, but we can also make the changes because he put it with such a way that anybody can access over the internet. You put all the coding and program which anybody with read write permission, so which anybody can access. Not only we can access, we can also modify. Modify means we can add some extra features to that, whatever coding or program he has written to design Linux OS. To that we can add some extra feature. Then we can have our own Linux OS. So that's why Linux is called as open source operating system. So why the Linux is called open source operating system? So you have to understand that open source means whatever the coding or program is written to design this, it's freely available on the internet, which anybody can access and modify. So this feature is not there in any other OS. Only in Linux this feature is there. So because of these features, whatever coding or program the Linus Torvald written to design Linux OS, we put it over the internet. Still, it is also available, which anybody can access. And if you are a good programmer having good knowledge about C language, you can take that source code and add some more features to it. And then you can have your own OS with your own name and your own logo. But you cannot take as it is. You have to add some features. So that is the reason Linux is called open source operating system. Whether I'm clear to everybody, what is open source? Have you understood, everyone? Okay, so please remember that open source means the source code of the Linux operating system, which is designed by Linus Torvald. So whatever coding or program Linus Torvald written to design Linux OS, we put it over the internet, which anybody can not only access but can modify it. So that is the reason any person or any company can take that source code and add some features to it. Then you can have your own Linux OS with your own name and with your own logo. So what is the official logo of the Windows OS? What is the official logo for Windows OS? Yes. Window, yes. The official logo for the Windows operating system is window. So something like this. This is the official logo of the window. Window. Same way, what is the official logo of the Linux operating system? What is the official logo? Yes, penguin. Very nice. So Rajesh, Silesh, we have very good knowledge already about the Linux. Very good. Yes. So all of you remember, penguin is the official logo of the Linux operating system. So whatever coding or program written by Linus Torvald to design it, we put it the logo as penguin, official logo. So we can take that Linux source code, which is designed by Linus Torvald, and add some features. Then we can have our own OS. Then we can keep to Linux OS our own name and our own logo, which is not possible in other OS. So these features makes Linux entirely different from other operating system. So what is the main thing which attract the people for the Linux? It's good security. Apart from that, Linux is an open source. Open source means the source code of the Linux is freely available over the internet, which anybody can access and modify. Thereby, they can have their own OS, Linux OS, with their own name and with own logo. For this, you don't have to pay. For this, you don't have to pay anything to Linus Torvald or to anybody. That's why Linux is also called as free and open source operating system. So, are you following? Have you understood, everybody, what is open source? I'm just waiting for your reply. Is it okay? Have you understood, everybody, what is open source? Okay, fine. So now, uh, what are the flavors you know in Linux? Can you just write some of the names? So as you know, Linux is open source. So anybody can take the source code of the Linux operating system, which is written or designed by Linus Torvald. So to that, we can add some features. Then we can have our own OS with our own name, with our own logo. Yes, very nice. Some people are writing these answers. Ubuntu, CentOS, Fedora, SUSE, Kali Linux. Very nice. Yes. So these are the some of the names. Very good. Yes. Out of that, Red Hat and CentOS are they are similar. So we are going to use for this, of course, Red Hat, but using the CentOS. What is the difference? We'll discuss that also. Don't worry. So are you following, everybody? Yes, very nice. These are the different flavors of Linux. So do you have such thing in any other OS? You can have version, but version is different, flavor is different. You can have version, but not flavor. So do you have such thing in other OS? No, because only Linux is an open source operating system. The rest of them, their source code will not be available. Nobody, nobody can, uh, nobody can open. Sorry. So I was telling you what. So no operating system source code is available. Only Linux source code is freely available, which anybody can access and modify. Because of that, Linux is called as, because of that, the Linux is called as open source operating system. So like some of the names you have given, very nice. So here also I have written some names here. Like here, Red Hat, CentOS, Ubuntu, Kali Linux, SUSE, Debian, Turbo. These are some of the names. So please remember, Windows operating system is designed using what? DOS. So same way, Linux operating system is designed by whom? Linus Torvald. Using what? So using what the Linux operating system is designed? Yes, Prabhakar, you are absolutely right. So please don't misunderstand, Rajesh. Linux is not a CLI based OS. Unix was the CLI based OS. Yes. So please remember, all of you, Linux is designed using the Unix, or Linux is being developed using the Unix. What is Unix now? Now what is Unix? Unix is also an Unix is an first major operating system. Yes, which was completely based on text mode, no graphical interface. So who designed this Unix OS? Any idea, anyone? So using this Unix, Linus Torvald designed the Linux, which can work on text mode as well as graphical mode, whereas the Unix was completely in text mode only. So yes, Unix is an OS, but who designed this? Very nice, Rajesh. So the person who designed this Unix, his name is Dennis Ritchie. Yes. So I hope if anybody is into the software side, immediately you can recollect who is Dennis Ritchie. Yes, who is Dennis Ritchie? Yes, the C language developer. C language developer, yes. So if you want more information, Dennis Ritchie, one of the person, but he was not only the person who designed this Unix. So actually, Unix operating system is designed by Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie. These two gentlemen collectively work on a project and from under the AT&T company, American Telephone and Telegraph. So both these gentlemen, Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson, Ken Ken Thompson was the other person who was involved in designing or developing the Unix operating system. Okay, so what is the main advantage with the Unix? So Unix used to have very good security. So that system never used to get crash or hang. Very good security. But disadvantage, Unix was completely command-based OS, no graphical interface. And second major problem with the Unix is called hardware-dependent OS. Means the Unix is developed by AT&T company. So they released their first OS with what name? Sys3, Sys5. So they made their OS as what? Hardware dependent. Means if you want to install Unix Sys3 or Sys5, which is designed by AT&T, so you have to need to have only whose hardware? AT&T machines only. So because when they released this Unix in 1973, at that time there was no major operating system. So they kept the Unix OS as hardware dependent. Means if you want to install Unix, you need to have specific hardware. So this was started by AT&T company. So they kept their OS Sys3, Sys5, which can be installed only on AT&T hardware machines. It can be installed only on the AT&T hardware machine. By that, they earn a lot of money. By that, they earn a lot of money. By seeing these, the other bigger companies like Solar, the Sun company, design Unix OS. So with the name Solaris. So they also made their OS hardware dependent. Means Solaris can be installed only on Sun machine. Then IBM company introduced what? Their Unix OS with what name? AIX. AIX can be installed only on IBM machine. Then HP introduced or came up with HP UX. This is the Unix OS designed by HP, which can be installed only on HP. So what is the major disadvantage in Unix? For the downfall of the Unix, now people are not using Unix. Why? No graphical interface, first thing. Second major drawback, it is a hardware dependent OS. Means if you want to change OS from one flavor to another, you have to change the complete hardware. And if you want to install any specific uh, Unix OS, you require that specific machine only, which will be very expensive affair. So when the Windows was launched in 1984, something like that, so this gentleman Bill Gates made two important things. First, he made his OS graphical. Second, he made his OS hardware independent. Means you have any vendor machine. It doesn't require any specific hardware to install Windows. Windows can be installed on any hardware machine, Dell, HP, Lenovo, assembled machine, anything. So most of the people started using Windows. Then there was a time 70 to 80% of the computers in the world were using only Windows. So literally there was no competition to them. So they started raising their license key very often. So this gentleman, Linus Torvalds, in 1991 officially released the Linux OS because he wanted the people to have freedom from license issue, and he wanted to revive the Unix. So using the Unix, he designed Linux, which he introduced what graphical as well as text interface. And whatever coding and program he's written, he put it over the internet so that anybody can access and modify and release their OS. So this is the main thing which separate the Linux from other OS. That's why Linux is called open source operating system. So I hope you are getting, yes. Now, next doubt maximum people will have, now which flavor we are going to discuss. So most of the company servers are working on Red Hat. So we are going to discuss RHEL 7 through CentOS 7. Now what is the difference between CentOS and RHEL? So the Red Hat company now, which is now under taken over by the IBM. Now Red Hat company is working under IBM since last few years. I think during the COVID period, they have taken over. So Red Hat is releasing their OS with their name, but under the management of IBM. So Red Hat is a company, now it's working under IBM. So whenever company releases any product, they need to spend some money for research and development, and to continue that project, in the company's employees will be working. So they need to generate the money, otherwise the company will get collapse. So now what the Red Hat did, when they came into the market in 93, they released their OS distributed to the public free of cost. So they released their first OS with what name? Red Hat 1, Red Hat 2, Red Hat 3, and they continue up to Red Hat 9 completely free. When some people started using them, then from 2000 onwards, they are releasing their OS in two categories, Fedora series and RHEL series. Difference is Fedora series is designed for client purpose. It will have less features. And RHEL, which stands for Red Hat Enterprise Linux, it is for industry purpose, server purpose. So for that RHEL, they are charging to provide the technical support. So they are not keeping the OS. So they are saying our OS is free because that this OS has been designed by Linus Torvalds to have the freedom from license issue. So they are saying our OS is free, but if you want to use our OS, you have to purchase, because if you purchase, our OS is free. But you purchase, we will provide the support. So when you use our OS, if you get any difficulty, you can contact us. We'll provide the support and updates also they'll give. They'll provide the updates and support. That's why they are charging. So we are using the OS for training purpose. So some people who are working like a Linux expert, they form one association. Their interest is not business. Their interest is only to spread the Linux. So with that intention, they form one association with the name CentOS. Here, CentOS stands for what? So we are going to use Red Hat Red Hat designed the server OS with what series name? RHEL. RHEL stands for Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So we are going to use Red Hat. RH means Red Hat. E means Enterprise. Enterprise Linux. Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So this is suitable for industry, designed for industry, server OS. So now we have RHEL 1, 2, 3. Now nobody is using up to 4. Minimum in companies RHEL 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now latest one is 9. So if you are comfortable on 7, because most of the servers on 7. So we are going to discuss RHEL 7 through CentOS 7. So here CentOS is what? Here CentOS means C means community. Community, group of people who are working like a Linux expert in different company. They form an association with what name? CentOS. CentOS full form. C means community. ENT means enterprise. OS means operating system. Community operating system. Community enterprise operating system. This is the full form. So what they are doing, they took the source code from the RHEL. So whenever Red Hat people introduce new OS, they will take the source code from them and they'll release exact same copy of that with CentOS name. So RHEL 7 equivalent is CentOS 7. Same features, installation, command interface, everything will be same. So we are going to discuss RHEL 7 through CentOS 7. So this is completely free, no support. It is completely free, but no support, no technical support. Here they are charging. Here it is not free, but they will provide the support. This is the difference. So I hope it is clear to you. Is it clear? Okay. So now another commonly asked question by the different people is, sir, we are going to discuss suppose CentOS. Suppose my company is using got a job where the company is using SUSE or Debian or some other Linux OS. Can I able to work? So the answer is yes, because all these flavors is designed using what? All these things are being designed using what? Linux source code will be same. So some of the commands will be same. Some commands might be different. So if you are good with one flavor, you can work on any other flavor easily. So some commands might be same, but some command will be different. What to do? Just you have to use Google. You have to Google it. But you should know the command in one flavor. So Google it, you will get the equivalent command. So one example I can say is that suppose you know car driving. Example, you know car driving. You have suppose some small model, maybe Maruti. Now you have went for some luxurious Tata Sumo or something big car. Now can you drive that, or again you have to learn it driving? Can you drive that, or you need to again learn the driving from basic again? You can drive, yes. Some features will be extra or some additional things will be there. So it will take maybe few days to get adjusted. But overall things remain same. Some of the features will be different. So same way, if you use any flavor, once you are good with any one flavor, you can work on other flavor because the architecture design will be same, because all these OS will be designed using the Linux kernel, which is designed by Linus Torvalds. Source code will be same. So they will add some extra things. So for certain flavor, some commands will be used. For certain flavor, same command. Might be in some case some different command. So just if you know the command in one flavor, you Google it, you will get the you right type it. Everybody is working like this because it is not possible humanly to learn all the flavor because it keeps on coming. It is open source. So if you have decided that I'll do the job after learning all flavors, your whole life will be over, but it keeps on coming. So I hope understood. So why we are discussing Red Hat? Because as per the Linux, most of the company servers are on Red Hat. So we are discussing Red Hat, but through CentOS. Is it clear? Okay. So why only Linux? What is the things which makes Linux different from Windows? Why Linux is more secure? That we will discuss in tomorrow's session. So in tomorrow's session, we will start with what? Why the companies prefer to have Linux? Why not the Windows? Because of the Linux security, how it is secure. We will discuss that in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow is Saturday, but we will have the sessions every day. So you like to have the session tomorrow? Maximum people? If it is yes, means I don't have any problem. So shall we have the session tomorrow? Okay, then please join us. So tomorrow also same timing, same. We'll have the session. 9 it won't be possible because I have the other batch. On Sunday there will be no session. If you want me also, I'll not take because at least one day rest should be there for everybody, including me and to you also. Rest should be required. It's not possible because I have another session. This is the only slot time available. Okay, you have made the payment, Shailesh. Okay, so I'll give my mail ID. You just ping to my mail ID. I'm using another mail ID so that I'll send you the document so we can practice it. This is my mail ID. So whoever has made the payment, please ping to my mail ID so that I can send you the required document. Along with that, you will be getting the recordings also. Within few days, they'll start sending it. So this is my mail ID. See, if you are good with the any subject, uh, yes, the scope will be there. Please remember, we have to make ourselves good. Then definitely opportunities will be coming to you. Now the not only Linux, the market is such that it is now getting stable after passing through the worst period due to the COVID. You may have less options now, but maybe as the time goes, you will find more and more options. See, it is just one global certificate, RSCSA. So once you write this certificate, what happens? You will have, it doesn't guarantee you the job immediately, but it will have the weightage. Like if you write any global certification means, like they'll think that you know the subject. But please remember, once you are certified, no company will give the guarantee without conducting the interview. It will have a weightage. Suppose I'm not the certified person, you are the certified person. They may call us to interview, to me also and to you also. But first preference will be given to you. First, they will call you for interview. They'll take your interview first. And my interview also, they'll take it. Then after that, they will see your knowledge and my knowledge. If it is similar, then definitely the preference will be given to the person who is certified. But please remember, certification don't guarantee you the job, but it will enhance your options. More options you will get, or more scope you will get, or more calls you will get it. That is the benefit. Just now I have written no, my mail ID. So somebody says he made the payment. So please, you can see here, this is my mail ID. One second. I think I have not put it. One second. How to make the payment? They have given the all the details, no, on your mail ID also, the Google Pay number. So here also they mentioned. See here. Just a moment. I am writing my mail ID. So see here. This is on the chat box also. They have made complete detail on your link. Also, they have made this information. Okay, so who has made the payment? You just ping to this my mail ID. I'm just writing it. One second. I think I have sent it to one person. It was not everyone. Sorry. No, I'm writing it. So this is my mail ID. Now, can you see everyone? So you can ping to me after you make a payment. I'll send you the 3 files. One is practical step file, in that all practicals are there. Second, theory related things according to the standalone topic, theory related thing according to the network. So whatever data I have, I'll put it there so you can get it. So no need to write it. Okay. So can I close the session? Yes. Or anybody have any questions, any doubt? Yes, this is my mail ID, another mail ID I'm using. I think it is visible to everybody because I put it in everywhere. Oh, sorry, in everyone. Okay. So is there any questions, anyone? Or can I close the session? Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Good night. So remember, tomorrow session is there. As you most of the people said, tomorrow you'll be joining. So we'll have a session tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Tomorrow session will be there. Okay, fine. I'm closing this session. Thank you, everyone. Good night.